Short-term rental cheat code 28. Do this before you arrive. Now, this is a strategy that absolutely can help you sleep better. It's something that can allow you to not just have a little more peace of mind, it gives your guests peace of mind. Now, let's jump right in here. Number one, when a guest arrives after your regular business hours, say 8 or 10 p.m., and you want to go to sleep, then what? What do you need to do? This is going to solve that problem so well that you're going to be like, I can do this. Anybody can do this. That's the cool thing about doing short-term rentals. Everything in this is learnable, right? You can do it. Okay, this is actually a tip from my friend Ruthie Johnson. She said, do this before you arrive. She has 3 steps. Number 1, know how to use the door code, right? And a cool hack with this door code, this is something that you absolutely want to use if possible, right? Take the phone number, their phone number on Airbnb or VRBO, and use the last 4 digits as their door code. Super easy to remember, and then all they have to do is figure out how to punch in the 4 numbers and suddenly they can get in. All right, that's number 1. Number 2, make sure that you download the Vivint app. That's the security system that I use. If you just give them remote access, suddenly they can swipe and the door opens and they can get in. 2 points of entry, fantastic. Then number 3, know where and how to use the lockbox, right? If for some reason that those 2 options at the beginning, they can't get in, they can still use a physical key and unlock the door. Suddenly, if you have those 3 things, you can actually sleep at night. Fantastic. All right, now let's go in a little more detail here with the door code. With these instructions, when you write out your instructions, have somebody proofread them, right? Have someone, specifically if they're a little older, read the instructions and do their very best to poke holes at it and figure out if there's any way that this can be misunderstood. Right? If you can simplify it to a point that a child can understand it, you've done well. All right, now there are pictures you can add, videos that would even make it even more easy to understand, and the more clear your instructions are, the more peace you have. So let me tell you an experience where I was woken up in the middle of the night when someone was really after hours. I think it was 1 or 2 in the morning. This old lady, she booked my place and she walked up, and I want to say waddled up, but that's probably not appropriate, but she walked up to my place and she had the door code and she plugged in the door code, or so she thought. Because on a phone, what happens is when you push the button, if there's a 1 and a 2 on it, to get, the 2, you have to press it twice. That's not how door codes work. And she's like, there isn't a 19 button, I can't get in. And she was struggling, and I was asleep at the time, and it took her like 45 minutes of that before she ended up calling me multiple times, and it finally got through. I woke up and I was like, what is going on? How did she not get in? She'd pressed the buttons incorrect so many times that she locked herself out, and I had to just swipe to get her inside, and it was just a relief to figure out that she could get in remotely. And also that I needed to be way more clear in my instructions. So on Vivint, this is another thing with those. Sometimes you only have those 5 buttons. Each button represents both of those numbers. So if you have 1, 2, 3, 4, you would press the one that has the 0, 1 on it, and that counts as the 1. So anyway, that is one of those minor little details I had no idea that you would have to program in to make sure that someone understands it. But yeah, that happens sometimes. If someone's never used that type of a lock, you have to think they're tired, they're not functioning well because they're so exhausted, and they've maybe never even used something like this. How do they make sure that they get in? All right. The next thing, we've got this mobile access, right? If you download the Vivint app and you allow mobile access by swiping to the right, then you have this option that drops down. You put in their phone number or their email and they get sent the download instructions, and it's so convenient because they can literally swipe right and the door opens. So nice. Now, the third thing, this is just a great backup plan because you can sleep when you do this, and you can't sleep very well if you don't, right? You can sleep when this is in place. You have a realtor lock that you put on there, and you have the key that's a physical key to the space. And if you do that, and you do it well so that your guests know where to go in case those first 2 points of access fail, this third point of access will allow them to get in, and you won't lose bookings. And one more thing, you absolutely need to know this. This is the Eagle Scout motto, right? The Scout model. Be prepared, right? My mother taught me this. She put in so many hours to make sure that I earned my Eagle. and she was the one that should have gotten credit, but I got the credit for it, right? You need to be prepared because guests expect hosts to be prepared for every contingency before they happen. I hope that's helpful. Have a great day.